Hey guys, welcome back. I've got something going on right now. Something big. No, not that big, but it's cool. So I was gonna build the Chaser. We have an event coming up this weekend after Formula D, Utah. We always do pros and bros. Pros before bros, bros before pros? Bros before pros. Or bros before pros. I just call it pros and bros because I can't remember the rest. But I missed it last year. The year before that, I drove the Chaser and it was awesome. I loved it. It's my favorite event because we drive on the kart track. I don't have a car this year. None of this is ready. I was gonna try and fix this. It needs way too much work. That's a different story. That car needs a lot of work. I have 6 days now. So I gotta do something. I've gotta have something. I've got my purple Silvia, but I don't like tandeming in that car. It's not really a drift car. I could take it, but I don't want to take it. Actually, I did drive that last year. And I was afraid to tandem with everybody and it just wasn't fun. So, what am I doing? I've got this car, not my car. This car belongs to my Portuguese friend, Rui Pinto. He lets me drive his red S14 when I go to Portugal, and so he bought a car here, and now it's my responsibility to make this car driftable. He told me I'm welcome to use it. It has a roll cage, 1JZ, S13 coupe. It's my wheelhouse. I know how to do that stuff. That's my specialty. So I decided this is the least amount of work to get a car ready to drive at this event, and then it solves multiple problems, right? It makes this car ready for him to come over here and drive. It's not a waste of labor trying to move parts between cars just for one event. Both those cars need a lot of stuff, and I didn't have an easy pathway to make it happen. So this is it. This is what we're doing. I'm gonna stop talking about it. Let's talk about what this car needs and what it's got. My good buddy Wes stopped by.
What's up?
To help me with this project, because he's also a specialist.
Yeah, somewhat.
So we were just kind of looking over the car and what it needs. I decided we should get everything solved in the rear and just leave that alone. So what did we find back here?
Well, more or less it's got Maxima coilovers on it, which is kind of cool.
Ooh.
They're BCs, which is nice, but it's just, yeah, you read it, it says 03 or 2003 Maxima.
Nice.
They seem to fit.
It's just that lower mount's a little bit different.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's got these like
Solid
solid
bushings?
subframe bushings, yeah. It's got these adjustable upper arms.
It's got decent parts on it.
Yeah, it's got some good shit.
What are you working on right now?
Trying to lift the coilovers up, which this collar does not want to move.
Well, that's not good.
So I've been trying to like meander with this side a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't want to do it too much.
Maybe we should let it soak.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm letting it soak in PB, let it try and work its way through and try and bust that loose.
Everything's pretty well intact back here.
Yeah.
The fenders are already cut.
Yeah.
So just have to slap some over fenders on it. This car does have a roll cage, has a CDO9 with a custom tunnel. This car I actually picked up in Colorado. A lot of this work was already done to it. I picked it up and it just needed assembled, and it hasn't really moved in years and years and years. So now it's time to work on it. I did start painting it inside. The backside isn't well painted because I couldn't get the rear, well, I didn't take the rear glass out to paint it. Might end up brush painting that, but that's low on the list to get it running. Turns out the front rotors are Z32, but the calipers are S13, so we gotta make that stuff work. The engine, I think, is in good condition. Someone stole the turbo off the car. When Wes was working at my shop, he came out one day and realized that this piece was missing. What else happened, Wes?
So when I came out, that thing was sitting off to the side.
The front crash bar, or the
front crash bar thing was sitting like, say that's the car. It was next to us, laying against that one. And I was like, that's weird. And I lift up.
It's not where that goes.
Yeah, I was like, that's weird. That wasn't where it was before.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the engine. It didn't click that like the turbo or anything was gone. I just grabbed the motor and just moved it side to side, and the motor mounts and everything were disconnected. So whoever stole the turbo and stuff was planning to come back and yoink the entire engine as well.
Which is wild, because this was behind our shop. Like, you have to go through a bunch of, like, our parking lot and all this stuff to get back to this. So they were just walking right through our yard to get all this stuff off. I don't know how they thought they were gonna get the motor out without an engine hoist. I don't know what the plan was there.
Moving 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah, right? This was behind other cars.
This was behind other cars. I think what they did is they probably spotted it and jumped the fence is probably what they did.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah.
And so the turbo ended up going missing, and then we found it on Marketplace, and then tried to sting operation the guy. Found out who it was, called the cops. The cop says, don't go over there. Those guys already have a bunch of cases pending. That's a long story.
Yeah.
But we know the guy's name and everything, but I'm not one to blast people. So he had his day in court. But we never got the turbo back, which really sucks. So I ended up getting a different manifold and a turbo for this car. It's gonna be a 3076, which is better than whatever, I think it was a whole set, something, whatever. This is gonna be a better turbo. Ball bearing GTX, oh yeah. But yeah, everything's bolted up here. The trans is bolted up, drive shaft. I've gotta do the transmission mount. And yeah, just move forward. But the big thing is, I called Pinto earlier because he's big on fuel tech, and I was like, hey, are you doing a fuel tech or what? And he's like, hey, idiot, remember last time I was there? I brought you all this ECU master stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. That's like a RB26 jumper harness. Don't need that. I don't know why anyone would mess with RB26s. Lame. So it's got the DIY build it yourself harness. That just equals hours and hours worth of work. EMU Classic, this is all my wheelhouse. I know how to do all this stuff. So honestly, of all the work that we have to do here, this ECU master stuff is probably what I know the best, but it's also gonna take the longest because I'm building a harness from scratch. But that's exciting because it's gonna end up being really cool. I thought I was gonna have to do wiring twice, but I totally forgot he brought me all this stuff. Yeah, Fuel Tech, you suck. ECU master, good. So yeah, it's time to move to time lapses. Get going on this car. All right, guys, I don't know how many videos I've started now for this Pros and Bros event after FD Utah, but I've changed my mind again. I was gonna fix Pinto's car. I was gonna try and fix the Chaser. But I've changed my mind again. I think what I'm gonna do is take the ITB car, take off the ITBs, and reinstall the turbo kit, which everything is literally, every nut and bolt, intercooler pipe, everything fits that car because I deturboed it in the middle of drift week and put the ITBs on, made it super slow, so I have everything I need to put it back to how it was. It's a stock GE bottom end, so it's weak rods and pistons, so I would have to run ethanol, E85, to keep the piston safe, and I got to keep the power and torque relatively low, under 400, relatively low, to make the engine last. That engine is smoking, it's tired, it's got probably low compression, it feels really slow with that. So if for some reason it blows up, I won't be super disappointed. I'll put another engine in it. So I think that's the plan. It is 11:15. Tomorrow is Thursday for FD, so it's pro practice and seating, I think. And Ryan Literal asked me to fill in as a spotter, so I'm gonna go do that. So really, I only have Friday to do all this work. And then Saturday afternoon, after all the pro stuff is done, but that's gonna go till late. So really, just Friday. That's a lot of work, but if I spend all day Friday doing this, I think I can do it. I wish Pinto was here to help me out. He's probably mad that I'm not fixing his car instead. I will get to that and I'll do a video about it. I got some things done, spent a day or two working on it with Wes, but that is gonna be the most fun, and I have been missing out on a lot of fun driving. When I drove that at Villains, that thing was really sick. And if I do all this, then I have a car that I can drive at some other events before the end of the year. So that's what I'm doing. We'll get back to it tomorrow. So a little under an hour. Oh, I'm sick today. Little under an hour, and I got both of those pieces off, the ITBs, calibrate, ITBs, and the header. So I've got all my other stuff. I'm gonna start bolting up parts. There's a few things that are gonna be a little bit tricky, like I have to remodify the wiring to fit, but it's just gonna be a couple things. I'm gonna do the easy stuff first, the mechanical parts.
bolt up the intake manifold, the turbo manifold, get all that stuff plumbed. I have all the exhaust intercooler stuff, so I want to get all that going. But now I'm in this, like I've jumped in the deep end, right? I'm not going back. So if I don't finish this in time, then I'm not driving pros and bros in this car. So I pretty much have a full work day to get all this stuff done. And maybe go to the dyno. I have the old tune from this setup, so do I just trust it? Do I just go for it, or do I spend a couple hours on the dyno? Guess it depends on how much time I have. Let's get back to it. All right, I got the turbo bolted up. Manifold is halfway bolted up. This wasn't that hard at all, honestly. I could swap this stuff back and forth like in less than a day, which I may end up putting that stuff back on. I thought about putting that for sale, you know. I have the dyno chart for it. I have the tune for it. I could just sell it with the ECU, wiring harness, everything, and just sell that to someone for as a ITB setup for their IS300. But it works so well for the ride-along stuff. I don't know if this is going to be reliable. This is a tired factory motor, so I don't know how long this boost, or it's going to last with boost on it. I got to try and turn the boost down on that turbo to keep the motor together, because this made 420. These blocks are supposedly 400 is kind of the upper limit, so I don't want to be pushing it too hard. I mean, ethanol gives me a little bit of a margin, but still I'm worried about breaking a rod in half. But yeah, I got most of that done. The oil pan is not tapped, so I have to drill and tap the oil pan for a dash 10 fitting, and then I have to run my oil line across behind the timing belt over to the oil sandwich plate adapter. I do have to take off the timing belt again to do the front main seal. It is leaking pretty bad, so when I pull the timing belt off, I'll run the oil line behind it. I mean, really I could cheat it up here, but I like to run it behind the timing belt and get all that done. I have to go to the track right now. I'm gonna help Ryan literal spot today. I guess they had some problems with his car, had a few issues, nitrous solenoid, and then some suspension stuff, and there's only an hour of practice, and so he didn't get a single lap. But Ryan's one of those guys where like, he's dialed, calibrate, and then go. Like, I feel like he doesn't need a ton of practice to get it. I mean, with Ryan, everybody knows if his car's good, he's a weapon, you know what I mean? And so as long as the car is ready to go, he can pull a good run out of his hat with no practice. So tonight is the seating bracket, so we got a few battles. Anyways, this video isn't about that, but I'm running to the track, and I'm gonna I'll be there the rest of the night for seating battles. Tomorrow there's no pro stuff going on, so I've got all day to finish that car. All day Friday to finish everything on that car. So far so good. It's going smooth. The only thing is if I run into something that I have to order and I can't get it because it's Friday and the event's on the weekend, but literally when Pinto and I took that car apart, I took every piece, nut and bolt, everything, put it on this pallet, and then put it up there. And so everything should be in here. The only difference is, like I said, we used a different motor, so the oil pan's not drilled. So I do have to go get a fitting right now. And I'm gonna do like a 3/8 NPT to a dash 10 fitting, and then just drill and tap the oil pan. And then I'll have to hopefully catch all the fitting or the shavings. But that's it. I'll be back to it tomorrow. All right, I think I got all the mechanical stuff done. I've been sitting here watching Pro Spec all day today. Tomorrow I'm going out to the track, but today's a Pro Spec day. I decided to stay here and fix my car. I got everything mechanical done. I have to adapt these injectors back to the different style plug, so I'm gonna do some janky wiring. I'm just gonna build little jumper harnesses because I probably... Cody Buchanan gets the win. Congrats. Nice. Those are, anyways, it's exciting. Pro Spec is exciting this time. I want to be able to put the ITBs back on.
so I don't want to change everything in a way that I have to rechange it. So just a little injector adapter, wiring harnesses. Everything else is plugged in. The car cranks right now, but obviously I need fuel to start it up and test it. So I'm pretty dang close. Intercooler fit, oil cooler, all that stuff is the same. I got to run this oil line across the front behind the timing belt, and I'm going to put a front main seal in it, which I've got on hand. So I'll pull the whole front timing belt off, drain the coolant. I've got to run coolant to the turbo, which I will replace this water neck with the one that was on the other car. And then same with the lower. It had a quarter NPT fitting that was tapped into there to go to the other one. So I'll change those up, and then I got to drill the oil pan and hopefully get all the shavings out. I'm not going to pull the oil pan off to do it, so I got to be really careful, put some grease on the drill bit, go slow. But once I get all that done, I should be able to start this thing up. I'm going to flush the fuel out, put E85 in, and then off to the dyno. And it's 6:30, so I got the rest of the night. So pretty excited. We got everything going pretty well. I got all the mechanicals done. I got to wire the injectors. Jesse's going to drain this oil out. I don't do oil changes very often, but Jesse gave me some long speech earlier about changing the oil. Jake changes the oil every time. I'm always blowing up engines, so why not? We'll change some oil. I'm not changing the filter, just the oil.
That's too far.
I think filters catch junk. Oil actually loses its viscosity and all that from heat, and this thing has had a lot of heat. Even though it's a non-turbo engine, I think we've done 3 events, just really, really high oil temp, so we'll put some fresh oil in it. I did drill the oil pan with some grease on the drill bit and the tap, so hopefully it caught everything. I did leave the oil in, so if we drain it out, we have every possible way of every chance of getting the shavings out. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna go wire those injectors up, and then hopefully it just starts right up. I still gotta drain all the tank and put ethanol, but I'm gonna do that when we get to the shop. Gonna do some dyno testing tonight. It's what, like 9:30 right now, if that. So not too bad. This actually wasn't that much work for how much I thought it was gonna be. We gotta head to the shop. I was only able to get 3 injectors done, but the car runs on 3 injectors. So that's my temporary solution. The back 3 aren't there, but it should be enough to get it on the trailer. We got other stuff to do at the trailer, or not the trailer, at the shop. So I'm gonna finish this job up at the shop so we can divide and conquer and get other stuff done tonight, because we are running out of time. Trailer, let's go. I guess I should probably not forget to unplug the charger. This battery's pretty smoked. All right, let's do this. Power steering. I had to jack the car up to get it over. So I think we're gonna have to do that again. All right, this is a 2-handed job. So we got the car done. Well, I got the car done on the trailer, done. There's 3 injectors that need to be still hooked up, but it ran on 3 cylinders, drove up on the trailer. I need to flush the fuel
out of the fuel system and put ethanol in there before I go on the dyno. I don't know what the boost pressure is exactly. I'm a little bit worried about pushing that block past 400 horsepower, which is where it was before, especially if I don't put ethanol in it. I guess I could back off timing quite a bit. I just really don't want to damage that engine or, you know, put a rod through the block before I even get to the track, or even at the track. But I'm super stoked on how quickly everything came together. There doesn't seem to be any fuel leaks, any oil leaks. I pretty much took off a turbo kit that was custom built for that car and put it on the shelf. So when I went to put it back on the car, big surprise, right? Everything fits. But stoked. Anytime I do some sort of turbo kit or whatever, I always have to fabricate something or do something, which I guess I had to drill the oil pan, but that took me all of, 10 minutes. Wasn't that big of a deal. All the oil and coolant lines fit. Everything was good. So I'm pretty stoked on all that. And the fact that the car started up and ran on the old tune on 3 cylinders, so it shouldn't take a whole lot of work. I'll just reset the base timing with a timing light, address the fuel issue, and then just double check everything, throttle position, all that stuff, make sure it's all good, and then do a couple runs and see how it is with the map that was saved. Theoretically, everything should work, right? But in practice, it doesn't always work that way. So super stoked on all that. It's 10:22. I got to be at the track in 12 hours, so I'd like to be able to get some sleep. Jesse's going to load the trailer tomorrow. I got to be at the track to work with Ryan, literal, not to drive. We still have another 24 hours or more, right, before the drift event that this car's being prepped for. So all that being said, things went pretty smooth. Fingers crossed nothing goes majorly wrong tonight. Like I said, Jesse's gonna get the trailer loaded up tomorrow, and then we can roll out to the track. I'm super stoked because I wanted to drive something fun. I love this car, but I hate it because it's slow. So I put power back into it. The suspension, the steering, everything is awesome on this car except for low power. So now going back to decent power, this car's gonna be a blast to drive. And I'm not afraid to tandem and get close and just party. And I haven't had a really fun tight tandem drift event this year, and I love the kart track. I know it really well, and I got 4.9 gears. With power, I'm gonna be in 4th gear. This is gonna be absolutely wild. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll get to the shop, unload, and see how the night goes. So I've got 2 jump boxes. I've got my NOCO that I've always relied on, and then these guys reached out to me recently, Oxito, to try this out and compare it to my NOCO box. So I've got a whole other video about this, but I just wanted to shout that out because this thing actually works really well. It's a flashlight and a jump box, and this battery's pretty smoked. I was using my NOCO box at the shop, and then I brought this one with me, and I did a great job starting the car up. Tons of juice. So look out for that video. Okay, we got some ethanol in this thing. I just need to verify some of the base settings on ECU Master. Since it was on gasoline, and this base map was for ethanol before, I backed off the fuel at idle, so we'll get that back. There we go, 13.1. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now that it has a 4.9 gear, I need to recalibrate 4th gear on the dyno. It's gonna be really short gears. And then we can do a pull, see where we're at. All right guys, it finally sounds like a proper car. With the ITBs, it was interesting, but I didn't love it. I'm not a ITB NA JZ guy at all. The car just wasn't fun. It was very underwhelming. It sounded interesting, but it didn't sound JZ. It didn't sound cool. The car is back to sounding like a real car. It's I went from hating this car to loving this car. I can't wait to drive it. We put corn fuel in it, so let's get on the dyno and see what it does. I'm just gonna start with the map that was on it before. It should be pretty dang close. And yeah, well, it's like 12:30 p.m. and I gotta be at the track at 10 a.m., which is an hour away, so I gotta leave at 8:30 a.m. So I wanna get this done. Let's do a couple pulls and see what it does. Man, if it makes close to 400 or over 400, it's a problem. I don't wanna take off the wastegate to change the spring and turn down the boost, so I just hope it makes less than 400. I've never hoped that before, but it's a stock block and I don't wanna blow it up. I wanna be able to drive all day, so I gotta be conservative, but you know, it's a good car. .368 and 306 torque. It's not bad. That's right in the sweet spot. I can get happy with that. So the fueling looks really good. The timing's a little conservative. We're only at 0.6 bar of boost, which is great. I don't want any more boost than that. So I'm actually going to advance the timing a little bit and see if we can gain a little more torque down low. .363 and 303, so we didn't gain anything. So I think I'm gonna back it off and call it good. That's it. That's it. I'm happy. I'm happy with how it sounds, and I hope it drives good. It should be great. Last time I drove it with a turbo, it had 420 horsepower. So I'm guessing maybe this is either a tired motor, which I already suspected why it was low power on the ITBs. This is the same motor as I was running on the ITB, so it's an unopened NA2J, no head studs, no aftermarket gasket, just unopened. So I feel like it should have made more horsepower NA, and it smokes a little bit, so I think it's got low compression. I don't know. This is perfect. This is what I wanted. I wanted medium power, not too much. I'm tired. That's it for tonight. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.